ready, get on your feet, get into gear and hit the street.
Hey, you!
Get moving, it's not too far, you're looking good, so come as you are.
Hey, you!
You never know what you see when you through that door with the 7-3. Never seen nothing, no, not like this place. Never been, no, no way, not ever, no. Never seen no place, no way similar, not like 73. Hey, you get ready, get on your feet, get into gear and hit the street. It's you that we want to see, so get down to 73. Get down to 73, hey, you get down to 73.
Hey, old mate, I found this in the attic. What do you think?
Oh, great. I tell you what, a couple of days on that, she won't know the meaning of thighs.
I'll put it in her fitness and beauty centre.
Right. And now, surely it is every young girl's dream in Britain for that moment when she can step into the limelight, meet Judith Chalmers, and hear the immortal words from the judges. Bobo, we are pleased to say you are Miss UK 1987.
Around your knees.
Like that?
Yeah, just
yes.
through here, Ron. Can you just go out there a minute, please, Ron? Ron, what you doing, Kim?
Trying to discover myself.
Oh, get up. You look ridiculous. Honestly, you asked me to bring the weatherman round. I bring him round, and this is what you do.
Oh,
so you can come in now, Ron. Yeah, come in now,
I'm the local weatherman.
Here you are, mate. I'm ever so sorry about that. She is prone to doing that every now
Lovely
and
to
then.
see you,
I'll just put this down.
He was walking up the high street with that.
Yeah.
Why?
Actually, I
don't
brought
know.
along a video, which I
Oh,
thought you
brilliant.
might like to have a look at.
I was going to say, actually, I blame all this weather on you, you know, mate.
No, you blame it on the vicar. It's his head. Anyway,
Yeah,
take
let's
a
have
look
a
at
look.
this now.
What's on here?
These are satellite pictures. Now that is
yeah.
what the satellite actually sees. This is a picture of the whole of one side of the Earth, the northern hemisphere. There's Africa, and this works at the blacker it is, the hotter it is. So it's very hot in East Africa at the moment, and through the Sahara Desert. The whites are obviously the clouds. Look how small
we're covered in
Britain is.
white.
Yes, that's right. A very small picture of Britain. Now, this one is the last 48 hours of the weather over Europe. There's a low in the Mediterranean. It's sending up all that cloud, cold air coming down from Siberia, and the cloud is producing the snow. But coming into the west there is some rain, and that rain is already into Western Ireland today, and it's going to be very wet over there.
So we're going to be washed out, aren't we?
Well, not us, no, because I think we're going to stay in the easterly winds.
Yeah, because of the winds and all that merging together. That's why we've had so much snow, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Actually, how'd you get all them
Well, that's why I brought this thing along. What I wanted to show you was where that satellite actually is. I can put a mark.
This is either a terrible case of dandruff or so, I don't know.
Precipitation in sight, yes. That is the point on the over the Earth where the satellite is. It's actually 23,000 miles away in space above that point, so which is about 3 times the width of this Earth. So if you go and stand out there, Happy, and
I'm a satellite, am I?
You're going to be a satellite, my friend, yeah? Now, back a little bit further, right? Now, what happens is that as the Earth spins from west to east, I want you to keep looking at that point, okay? Because that's what the satellite sees all the time. Keep going, keep going.
I'm sure it's not like this in space.
No, bit
of
quite
space debris
cluttered,
then.
yes.
Yeah.
So you keep going round, looking at the same point all the time, and by the time the Earth has made one revolution, which is 24 hours, the satellite has made one revolution, so it's always looking at the same side of the Earth, and it sends its pictures back.
What would happen if I wanted to look at the other side?
Well, there are about 5, I think 4 or 5 satellites up. There's one over America, there's one over the Pacific, one looking at Japan and the Australian area, one over the Indian Ocean. And at the moment, whilst we can get some pictures from the American satellites, we can't get the pictures from the Indian Ocean and Japan, but I suspect it won't be very long before...
They are advancing.
They are
satellites.
advancing, yes.
That would be great to have a satellite that could view the whole Earth.
Exactly, yes.
And that
it'd be
might
quite
come about
exciting.
one day,
Oh,
do you
I would think so, yes, very quickly.
So listen, can we have a reliable source of predicting the weather, you know, just at home?
Well,
other than a bit of seaweed or something?
Actually, I can show you how to make a very simple barometer. What I want, have you got a jam jar?
Somewhere about. Let me think. Oh, we are. Got a jam jar.
Yeah.
Would that do?
Only use this water. Yeah, that's fine.
That'll do.
We need a bottle with a fairly long neck.
Yeah.
And what we do is we put some water in the jam. About that amount. You've got to experiment a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
We put just a drop in this bottle. A sauce bottle's very good. And then, quick as a flash, we pop that into there.
Yeah.
Now, you see how the water has gone up the neck of the bottle. I'll just let a little bit out and back into the jar. Now, what will happen is high pressure at the moment, so the pressure of the air pushing down in the jam jar is keeping the water up inside the bottle. Now, as the pressure falls across the country and the weather pattern changes, that water level will drop inside the bottle. So you can keep an eye on that and get an idea of how the weather's changing.
That's really clever. Hey, I remember that. That's going to stay here, lads. We can predict the weather, see if it's going to get colder.
You can adjust it perhaps and put it a bit further down, but with a nice jam jar and a nice bottle, you can... but the important thing is you must keep it in a room that's constant temperature. Don't put it where the temperature changes, because it'll go up and down anyway.
That. Okay. So what's the outlook for the weekend, then?
Yes.
What can we do with our weekends?
Well, I think that on the eastern side of the country, it'll stay mainly dry but cold, because these easterly winds are going to continue for the next 24 hours. But over in the west, as I mentioned earlier, there's all that rain, as we saw on a satellite, over Ireland, and that's going to move into Cornwall and Wales, and there'll probably be snow for a while, but I think that mainly it's going to change. Up in Scotland, just above freezing, so a slow thaw continuing, but cold at night, wrap up warm.
So, how long do you think this cold weather will be with us, then?
I think, well, over the weekend, but it looks as though it may be changing by the early part of next week.
Right. Oh, well, that's a welcome bit of news, anyway.
Well, I hope so, yeah.
We can
There's been
all go...
problems everywhere. Yes, Kim.
I think it'd be ever such a good idea if you went and go and told Mrs. Miller what you've been telling us.
Yeah.
Will you
Okay,
do that?
yeah,
'Cause
sure.
we've been a bit worried about her. She's been snowed in for about
I've
3
known from her
days.
for a while, yeah.
I think you'll put her mind at rest knowing it's going to get warmer.
Yeah, come back for the duster muster, will you?
Yes,
Take this with
delighted.
you, Ron. We'll show her that as well.
Oh, she'll like to see that. That'll brighten up her Saturday.
See you later,
Ron.
Right, cheers, Ron. Bye. What's the matter?
Absolutely.
You're so bitter.
Pull my house.
You're just a bad loser.
Sorry, it's just a flip, wasn't it?
You know, style, you know.
I had. You wait, I'm going to show you style because I'm going to go into this week's... Revolutionary, clean up revolutionary. Gordon, Kim and Neil and Harry, manifestly sanitary. Grab your squeezy, grab your mop, shake your tail and shimmy to the duster master, duster master, duster master. Will you bring on the contestants, please?
Let's have Elkie and Ron.
Okay, let's hear it for Elkie.
Elkie and Ron.
Let's hear it for Ron. All right. Welcome to this week's Duster Master. Very briefly, I will explain the rules of the game. The rules of the game are to answer as many questions as you can correctly. If you don't answer that question correctly, you get a utensil. The person who ends up with the most utensils gets to clean the house this week. Terribly sorry. So, the first things first, put your rubber gloves on and put your whistles on. You're going to need those whistles for the next part of
that
the
the whistle?
contest. That's the whistle. Come on, Ron, don't you know a whistle when you see one?
That's the easy bit.
That's the easy question. What are you going to do when I ask him a question? Now, to see who goes first, we grope for the stove. Find that stove. Find that. Elkie! Yes! Okay, so Elkie gets to answer the very first question. Here we go with the dirty dozen, Elkie. Where do Bedouins come from? Bedfordshire or Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, absolutely right. It was a soapbox question and it goes to you, Ron. On to our second question, Ron. It's a bucket question. What colours are on the French flag?
Red, white and blue.
Absolutely, and I'm afraid that means you're going to get in the bucket, Elkie. Okay, here we go on here now to the yard brush question. What is the only mammal that can't jump?
Kim Goody.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Actually, when you know the answer, I don't know. I'm afraid it's the elephant. It was a yard brush question, Elkie. I'm afraid you're going to have to have the yard brush.
I really do.
We go to the large sponge question now, Ron. What was the other name for the Earl of Huntingdon?
Sir?
He was very brave. He robbed the rich
I know.
Robin Hood!
Robin Hood, I think we're going to give that. Elkie, I'm afraid you get the large sponge, but he got it right. The Hoover pipe question, Elkie. You want to get this one right? Because this could be a little bit cumbersome now, couldn't it? How many ropes are there round a boxing ring? Tricky one, this. A little bit tricky.
Ropes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Start again.
6.
Start again.
1, 2.
Absolutely right! I'm afraid you get on the Hoover pipe question there.
Oh, me whistle.
You don't need the whistle yet. Are you listening? Oh, right then. We go on to a dustpan and brush question for you, Ron. Who preferred marmalade sandwiches for breakfast?
Paddington Bear!
Absolutely right! We all know where Ron's coming from, don't we? Here we go, I'm afraid that means you're going to get that,
Come on, Elkie.
For a floor mop question, Elkie. Yeah. How many legs do 2 giraffes have?
Oh, 2 giraffes. 8.
Yes! That's a floor mop question, and this goes for you. All right then, Ron. The polish the sun with that.
Right, yes.
A scouring powder question, Ron. What does UFO stand for?
Unidentified flying object.
Oh, you got it right, Elkie. So you've got to hold that. We come to the end of the round. We come to the end of our dirty dozen rounds. Now let me see. Who do we think is
Right, that
losing?
girl's eye.
Oh, Elkie, don't cry yet. Don't
The emotion of it.
Oh, it's getting a little bit emotional here as we go on to the clean sweep round. This is where you're going. Oh, she dropped the brush. Elkie, I'm afraid you get a mop for the drop. Oh, and you can't put that down, I'm afraid. That's it, making a very nice little hanky. Okay, this is where you're going to need your whistle. Shall I give you a little hand there, Elkie? It's sad, really, isn't it? Are you ready? When if you think you know the question, you blow your whistle. First whistle I hear gets the question. Who has just had a throat operation in Australia? Yes, Elkie.
Elton
Elton John, absolutely. You get a big sponge for that one there. Which is the best-selling book of all time. Sorry?
You have to blow it.
Sorry?
Blow it.
Oh, dear, it sounds a bit like the weather, doesn't it? And yes. What is it?
The Bible?
Absolutely right, and I'm afraid you might get another one of those for that.
Them tears are streaming down.
Which is the largest desert in the world?
Oh, I know.
La, 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 la.
Oh dear, yes, carry on.
Gobi.
The Gobi, absolutely wrong. I'm afraid you're going to have a few of those for that wrong. Because you, being a weatherman, should know much better, I feel. So I won't ask you where. I'm afraid you get one of those, Ron. Take all this back. There you go.
I've lost me doodah.
What? You've lost his... Oh, we come to the end of this week's Duster Master. Who do you think is going to do the housework?
Wrong.
No, I think it's going to be Elkie. Elkie, I'm very sorry, but would you mind going to start in the cellar? Is that okay?
Don't cry, Elkie.
It's all right. You won't be crying. You'll only be crying when you get to Harry's bedroom.
put it down.
And you,
Thank you,
Ron,
Kim.
will get this week's befamed Duster Master.
Hey!
Woo! Well done, that man. That concludes the end of this week's
Duster Master.
Hey, revolutionary, clean up revolutionary. Gonna give it in a hurry, manifesting secretary. Grab your squeezy, grab your mop, take a bed and ship it to the Duster Master, Duster Master.
Duster Master! Oh, you can go off now and also go into the cellar if
Thank
you
you
like.
very much.
Now, Harry,
Yeah?
I've just been thinking.
Yes.
I would quite like to enter this beauty contest because I quite like to wear a tiara.
I'm sure you would, but you've got a long way to go, you know, yeah? You've got to get into training.
And you've got to get out into that shed.
I know. Okay.
And the rest of us have got to go on.
Boogie with the band! All right.